When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
We would like to wish a happy 8th anniversary to our longest sponsor,
Shop Tour Bus.
That's right, everybody. Go to shoptourbus.com or at ShopTourBus over on the Instagrams and check out all the dope designs our friends over at Shop Tour Bus are putting out.
They make hand-screened apparel and merch inspired by the band beyond description, The Grateful Dead, and it's all uniquely packaged and shipped with love from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And they are celebrating 8 years. They have a new design out, Mountains of the Moon. And they also have what I think is very cool, the coffee mugs that they have. They have so many different things. You got to go over and check out their shop and get yourself something.
Yeah, man. They come in a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box. Some of those boxes might even have a Miracle Grateful Dead bootleg cassette tape on the inside. You never know, and you can't find out unless you order something. And they're hooking the No Simple Road family up with free shipping when you put in the promo code
No Simple Road.
All one word. Hey, bet you didn't see that coming, did you?
We didn't even see it coming.
No. All right, so help them celebrate by going and ordering a little something for yourself, a new t-shirt, a hoodie, a dope trucker hat, a cup, you know, the things that we all use and love and wear, all that stuff.
When confused, get it all.
Or listen to the music play. Either one. Shop Tour Bus.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
I know the road may seem to go on forever and a lifetime.
Hey now, No Simple Road family, this is Aaron. And wow, yeah, you know, you would think that like after all the episodes that we've done, I wouldn't be nervous to do this. But this is like, I think the second time in No Simple Road history that I've done this, like an intro by myself. Mel's in LA visiting Jasper and Sid and Adam, and Apple is going to be at work tonight, and I didn't want to be up until fucking midnight editing the show and trying to get it out for y'all. So I came down here and I was like, you know what? I mean, I got all this stuff and I could just do it like myself now. And yeah, so Apple and Mel aren't here right now. They are on this week's episode, thankfully, with our friend Sean Thompson. You guys, this is some gold that we found here. Sean Thompson's Weird Ears. If you haven't heard of it, he's part of the Curation Records crew. He is the only non-California member of the Curation Records roster. And this is the perfect blend of Nashville and California. I mean, that is like the best way that I can put describing Sean and his music. And it's funny, after we interviewed Sean, other members of Sean's circle in Nashville have started popping up. And so we're going to have some undisclosed interviews with other members of this kind of burgeoning Nashville underground psychedelic honky tonk country cool ass vibe that's going on down there. So I'm excited for all you to hear this interview with Sean. Go check out his Bandcamp, and that is Curation Records Bandcamp. You can check out all of his stuff there. You can follow him on Instagram at Sean's Weird Ears. And yeah, man, just go give him a listen, throw him a follow, do all the stuff. And I promise you, you will be rewarded with some of your most favorite new music that you've listened to in a while. I know I say stuff like that all the time, but like for real. And, you know, it's been a weird week for everybody. And what's better to cure the blues or make you feels than really good fucking music. So I'm super stoked to bring this to you this week. I am going to do the business, and then we are going to get you to this interview. So follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on all the social media platforms. You know what it is. It's at No Simple Road. Go to www.nosimpleroad.com. That's where you can get NSR merch. You can get a tarot reading from Mel and I. You can sign up for the newsletter, and also go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. You can sign up for free over there on Patreon and check out all the content that's going up. You get these Friday episodes a day early and ad free. Connor's putting his picks up there. Apple pops in there from time to time. Even Mel makes an appearance on the Patreon. And like I've been saying for a while, No Simple Road does cost $1 a month. Okay. It does cost $1 a month, but nobody's checking to see if you're paying. So it's the honor system. And the way you honor that system is by going to patreon.com/No Simple Road. You know, if you don't want to like sign up for $5, go sign up for $1, man. The cute dollars, like Mel says, and buy us a cup of coffee or something, you know? Also, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't done that already. You know, there's many thousands of people that listen to No Simple Road, and like only 400 and something reviews on Apple Podcasts. And I know from the analytics of the show that like maybe 75% of you that listen to the show listen on Apple Podcasts. So I'm asking you, do us a solid, man. Take 3 minutes, drop a review over there on Apple Podcasts. It helps other people find out about the show. You can also call 971-808-1524. That is the No Simple Road Tepid line. You have 3 minutes to say whatever the hell you want. It's open mic night every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know how that works. 971-808-1524. And last but not least, tell somebody you love about No Simple Road, because that is how we spread the mycelial network that is this community of weirdos, freaks, dabblers, and misfits. That is the No Simple Road family. All right, everybody? See, I did it. I'm proud of myself, man. Nobody here, except for Darwin, and I got us through in like record time. I think that's like 4 minutes or something. So anyway, without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you Sean Thompson. Sean, what's
Hey,
going
what's
on,
going
man?
on?
Let me make
Can
sure
you
I'm
hear me
not
all right?
fucking anything up. Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
we
Yeah.
hear you
Cool,
just
cool.
fine.
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, actually we can. We can hear you just fine.
Right on. Great news.
What's going on, man?
Man, not much. Sitting on the porch out here, about 20 minutes south of Nashville, house sitting for my brother in the suburbs.
Nice.
It's all right, man.
Yeah.
I like that. You look
It looks pretty good.
You look like you've been there for a long time.
Yeah, I'm relaxed. I'm quite relaxed.
I'm Aaron, Sean. Good to meet you.
What's going on?
Oh,
Nice
not
to meet
much,
you.
man.
Yeah, my name is Mel. Sean, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Hey, Mel. What's up?
And then I'm Apple. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, man. What's going on?
Hey, Sean,
Nice.
for everybody that's going to be listening to this, why don't you introduce yourself to them and tell them who you are, what you do, and all that?
Yeah. My name is Sean Thompson. I'm a guitar player from Nashville, Tennessee. I have a project called Sean Thompson's Weird Ears. And I'm also like a freelance guitarist around town as well.
And you have the distinction of being the first person on Curation Records that's not actually from California.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. We know Brent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man. He's the best.
Yeah, it's a good dude, man. How did you guys meet each other?
I just kind of sent him an email out of the blue. I cold called him
Really?
during the pandemic. Yeah, I had the first record done, and I came across their Instagram somehow. I can't remember how, and I just had them mixes for my first record and sent them to him. And I said, "Hey, man, love your band. Maybe you'll like this. I'm looking to put it out." And yeah, eventually he got back to me, and
That's a
Yeah,
it's
so
a
you
trip
liked
to
it?
me that like your sound is that sound from like most of the bands on that label have a very peculiar, unique kind of thing going on, and that you fit right in with it.
cool, man. Yeah, I think so too. I was listening to a lot of Beachwoods at the time, especially that record Tarnished Gold.
Mm.
I love it, man. And yeah, and I definitely listened to my fair share of country rock and The Dead, of course, and Burrito Brothers, and I love all the California stuff, man, for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense, and what you're doing is really dope and unique, brother.
Hey, thank you very much.
It's
Appreciate that.
You know, it's like we have kind of a rule around here where we try not to say like when we talk to somebody like, "Oh, you sound like this or that." And,
I'm the one that's guilty of that the most.
but with you, I don't get that. It's its own thing, and it's like, I don't know. For me, it's refreshing to find something that is cool, that's new.
Mm-hmm. That's different.
Yeah. I mean, did you?
Oh, thank you so much.
Did you set out to just do your own thing, and that's what it is coming out naturally?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I was in bands for a long time, and I got a lot of joy out of like communally writing with people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of that was from being young and excited to work with my friends, but also a little bit of like not necessarily having the tools yet to finish my own songs or even the confidence to. And at some point, maybe like 2019, I don't know what happened, but I just kind of got inspired to write songs really for the first time and see if I could like try to finish them myself without, you know, any help or whatever. And I was always used to writing like pretty proggy songs, you know, like lots of parts and stuff. And I don't know, I just really wanted to, for that first record, like set a goal of writing, like trimming back every bit of fat, you know, imaginable, and trying to write simple songs. But I think I like what I like, and I don't really know how to do it any other way, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing too, just from listening to the music there, you're a dog lover.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, man. There was I'm dog sitting right now.
Right. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I just took him on a walk, listening to some NRBQ, you know. But I had a dog for a long time, and I wrote that first record like during the pandemic, so there was nothing to do but go on long walks and write music, you know, and practice and hang with the dog. And so that was a large part of inspiration of the songs.
You know, you said you really started like leaning into writing your own stuff in like 2019.
Yeah.
Well, what like since then, what do you think you've learned about the process, about writing?
That's a good question, man.
At least just for yourself. I mean,
yeah, totally. I'm trying to think of like, I mean, it's a great question, and there's a lot of ways I think I can answer it for myself. I think the first thing is I learned to focus on an idea and say, okay, like I hone in on the main melody or main idea of the song, whether it's like a chord progression or whatever. It can be anything, but just to focus and at least get some roughshot view of the idea and put it down and then think about it later. I think that was something that really messed me up for a long time, was really either like putting the song down for a while in a way that probably wasn't like productive for me to put it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a difference between like getting distracted, I think, and and having like a good stopping point to not burn yourself out.
Right.
But also too, not burn yourself out on one single song, and get to the main idea as easily as possible, I think. And also, I'm not a great storyteller. I learned that lyrically, I can only really like write about stuff that's happening, you know, to me personally,
right,
or to stuff like close in my sphere. I can't really, at this point, like take a narrative and run with it in that way, you know.
Well, I mean, when you're doing anything, I think it's important to know where your strengths and your weaknesses lie, right?
Yeah.
And
big time.
And leaning into that, you know, what's around you. I mean,
yeah.
And that is storytelling, man. To me,
yeah, it's your story.
Yeah, you're telling your story to us. That's cool, man.
That's a great point, man. I think a lot of it, you know, there's so many great writers now, and you know, and back in the day too, that there's something that I love that, you know, like Dylan or something, taking some sort of topic and just like pulling a thread on it. Yeah. And that's not something I've been able to do. I've tried. It's an interesting thing, but I guess I can only really tell, yeah, like you said, my story, I guess.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I'll say that it's good. We were just listening to your music upstairs, and
nice.
You know, even though it may not be like, you know, imagination, something you're thinking about that you made up, the best way to tell a story is from like your heart and your spirit. So if that's connected, then that's what we're picking up on.
Yeah.
Cool. That means a lot that, you know, that comes across.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do, I guess. But, you know.
Sean, how did the whole music thing start with you, man?
Let's see. My dad and my brother always listened to music. It's like a lot of Metallica, AC/DC. And then my dad kind of had some like an interesting like bend into like Fine Young Cannibals, and he was all over the place. And the dad too, and like Donald Fagen. And but he didn't play, and both of his brothers did. And one of them gave me like an old Alvarez guitar and taught me a few chords.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he taught me, and then I had another uncle on one side that taught me like, You Shook Me All Night Long. And I think that I was probably like 11 or 12. And that just really that sent me down. Once I could play that song, like, you know, relatively in time, I was hooked, man. I was obsessed.
How old were you?
11 or 12.
11?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
probably 11 or 12. And rounding into like 8th and 9th grade. And I was just, every waking moment, not at
Thank
school,
goodness.
was
Yeah.
Thank goodness for
God.
AC/DC. AC/DC has been an influence on a lot of people, and when you can play
totally, man.
those riffs,
Dude, I can remember in the 80s standing in line outside of a movie theater at like, 8:00 in the morning, waiting for the movie theater to open up to go see the AC/DC movie when it came out. Like,
Whoa.
huge influence. And, it's one thing to have like music shown to you by your family. Like, I had an uncle that was like really into Zeppelin and stuff like that, and AC/DC, but I remember like finding Hendrix for myself, like finding it and putting it on and being like, holy shit, this is the coolest music I've ever heard in my life. Do you have a band that you found on your own that you remember like early on that you were really into?
I would say, honestly, man, like the North Star that guided me was Metallica.
Wow.
Really?
During that time. Yeah, man, I was obsessed. I came and that sent me down a wormhole of like thrash metal and stuff. And I became like a full metal kid, like 80s metal kid. Cause like, Black Album was on a bunch, but I think like my brother had Master of Puppets and also Injustice for All on the CD. And when I listened to those, I was like, dude, I gotta find everything from Metallica. And then that led me to Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All. And I just became obsessed with metal as like a teenage, like early on in my teens.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. I went
down.
I went down the wormhole, man.
So how do you get from that to this?
Is it a big departure for you when you see it in your own head?
I see it as like somewhat logical. Also, in a holistic sense, it's all a part of the journey, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like a marked time, like a pretty like formative time. And then, I had a really big crush on a girl who liked Bob Dylan. And then she also introduced me to weed.
Two great things that go great together.
Yeah. And that kind of changed my life, honestly. And that led me to a lot of different things and realizing that, other music besides, Slayer is awesome. Like it can all be sick, but it probably took a long time for me to mash everything together in a way.
Wow.
It's like, I can never listen to metal ever again. I can only listen to Bob Dylan and Django Reinhardt or something, which is sick.
It's great.
And it taught me a lot. And I think like somebody like Django was able to help me sort of like jazz guitar, like Django and Wes Montgomery kind of was like, this is just clean,
Yep.
And so I think that also like the technical side of playing, as well as this sort of like more emotional side and lyrical side with Dylan that I had never really experienced before. So it seemed logical at the time. It was like logical and illogical.
It totally makes sense to me because Apple and I both had the same kind of trip.
Oh yeah, Well, that's what I was going to ask too. Wait, well, you got introduced to Bob Dylan.
Hold on. I forgot to do something. Hold on.
What?
Oh. Record video.
Recording in
Just record the
progress.
video. Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you said you're introduced to Bob Dylan and weed. When you smoked weed, did it change how Metallica sounded for you? Like after that?
I didn't even go back.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
I was just obsessed. I don't know. So I went to this arts high school here. It's like a public magnet school that you had to audition to get into. And I was kind of thrust into interacting with like a lot of different cultures and different like sides of art and music and life that I wasn't previously. And so I think there was something about being like, oh man, there might be more for me here in this other place,
Mm-hmm.
and like maybe like as far as people I could play music with, and also just what was making me excited. And and I met like a bunch of friends that just threw all of this new shit at me that was blowing my mind. And around the same time, like discovering like Nashville DIY shows and stuff, and punk music, and it all kind of just started blending together, more or less.
Yeah.
But I didn't really go back to metal for a long time.
Coming to where you are now, you definitely have a style that's you. It's like I said in the beginning, it's unique, man, and it's
I appreciate that.
And now that we're talking about it, like you mentioned Wes Montgomery and Django Reinhardt, I was watching a clip of you that you posted on Instagram just playing. I can see it. I can see the influence of that stuff. And I think that, at least to my ear, that's what makes it different, is that it's definitely like a Americana bent, but there's definitely a jazz kind of thing going on in the middle of all of it. And so what you're talking about completely makes sense. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is all just music, right? Style and genre is all bullshit.
There's 12 notes, man. We're all working with the same ones.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that, man. I do love that music, and I guess I'm trying to find the right way to say this. During the pandemic, I had like so much more time than I ever had as an adult to practice, and coming out of that and playing shows with these songs that I wrote for the first album, and playing them with my friends who are all just amazing musicians, and we just started seeing where they would go, like I would kind of maybe not tell them what I would do beforehand, like I would, like, in the solo of a song, I might, where we would have gone back in, I would just be like shaking my head, no, don't go back.
Yeah.
And they're so good, they noticed that, and we just started exploring, and it was fun and intoxicating. And honestly, man, that's like, those moments were and have been some of the most like informative moments of my life musically, of just seeing like where I can take forms much, like of my own songs, and just let them have breathing organic life every night that I play them, not playing them the same way as the record all the time. And that keeps me going in a big way.
I think that's what keeps us going too.
Yeah. I think, especially I'll speak for myself. Growing up, before we started seeing a lot of more live music, if you're listening to like pop or radio or even CDs, you're listening to music that's been cleaned up. It's, recorded.
Yeah.
If you're not going to see live music, you're not differentiating what they're putting on an album versus what they can do live.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started to go to a lot more live music and listen to the album or their recorded stuff. And it's like, this is nothing. It might as well be a whole different person. You know, like,
Yeah.
Does it ever get frustrating for you, or is it liberating to have both sides? Do you know what I mean? To be able to play that live, or do you, you want to capture this live on your recording? What is it like for you?
It's both. Like, I think nowadays, I'm more interested in capturing like whatever's happening like right then, in the record or in the recording process, maybe. Like writing a song and maybe not trying to plan too much of it beforehand or something, and letting some moments flesh themselves out. I think I've been like trying to do more of that. Instead of like maybe like coming in with the form, we run the form a couple of times, and then I just spend like a bunch of hours on like overdubbed guitar solos or something, which guilty as charged for sure. But trying to be comfortable like with whatever happens. If somebody recording is like, yeah, that sounds good, I'm like, okay, I believe you. Instead of obsessing over like, damn, I didn't hit this one arpeggio that I really, really wanted to hit at one time or something. Like I do think there's merit in like whatever energy you are carrying with you into that session,
Absolutely.
Because it's kind of the same thing as going into a show. Like whatever happened that day is going to inform how you play.
Yeah.
For me, at least. So I think trying to let go of some of the like hyper conceived and hyper thought out notions of whatever a song could be in my head, like when I'm demoing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of letting it, being comfortable with whatever is coming out.
Well, it's learning. It's learning to let go and play in the moment, and the moments where the magic is. And I think
Absolutely.
Like you're saying, there's merit to both things. Like listening to a beautifully recorded studio album with tons of overdubs, and it's beautiful. But there's something to be said for when you're at a show and that the band has stepped off the cliff and they're going for it. And that's why I go see live music. And I think the hardest part for you guys, at least in my brain, would be to know when it's good. Because like I remember this like quote from Garcia. He was saying, they're on stage and they're recording the show, and he goes off stage and he's just pissed. He's yelling at everybody. He's like, we fucking blew it tonight. It was awful. It was the worst performance ever. And then like a couple months later, they listen back to the tapes and he's like, man, that show is just crackling with energy. So if you're like even trying at all paying attention in the moment, you're missing the moment in the first place. And
that's what you should be, because you should be in it.
Yeah. So there's no way to know if it's
You can't see
good.
the moment if you're in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's like that's a quandary for sure. I mean, I think, and I've spent a psychotic amount of time worrying about that. like, is it good? And especially like when I'm playing, and that's kind of just the worst place you can be in. And, I think personally, one of the worst places I can be in. I think one of the things I had to realize getting older, like getting out of my 20s and being more comfortable with one, like myself as a person or whatever, was that you have to practice this mental thing as well as, the guitar mental thing. It's like the practice of presence is like so much more important than practicing the guitar for me personally at this point. Like, don't get me wrong, like I practice obsessively, but none of that matters if I'm in my own head at the show, right? Yeah. Like if I'm playing a show and I have all these things that I've practiced, but I can't, like if I'm worrying about how good it is and I'm not like there, then there's no way that I can play those things in a way that I'm going to feel good about. So,
That's
so like
the quandary.
totally, man. So I think now the thing that I think is like the most important is just like, am I here? Am I present? Am I communicating with the band? Am I feeling the audience? Am I feeling like, you know, my fingers? Am I feeling like my feet on the stage? Like, am I here? And it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it feels amazing. And I can know that if I'm in that place, then whatever I play, I can like stand behind. Even if I fuck up a note, if I'm in the presence, I'm there, I can figure out how to mitigate it because I'm right there.
Totally.
You know?
And the answer to the question of, is it good, is an unanswerable question because it's subjective to everybody that's listening to you.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
Yeah,
Totally.
There's no right answer. And yes, it's good because you're on stage.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, like I think sometimes that can be easily forgotten. If you weren't good, man, there's so many people out there that are trying, that have connections, that have money, and they can't do it, you know, for whatever reason. Either they stage fright or they just can't get it together in front of people or whatever. So when you're doing the thing that you actually set out to do, yeah, it's good. Could it be better? Always. But it's good.
For sure.
Just because Halloween's over doesn't mean that it's time to stop eating candy.
That's right.
That is true.
It is true. This time of year, it's really important to take care of your mental health, and our friends over at Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolate are helping you do that by creating some of the best mushroom chocolate bars on the planet. Also gummies, capsules, singles,
Yeah.
All the good things.
So what you do is you go onto Instagram and look up Melt Mushrooms, and you are going to DM them and say, hey, I heard about you through No Simple Road. And they're going to be like, what? Here's our menu. Make your choices. And boom, you get it.
That's right. 10 different flavors of their bars. And for the month of November, you're getting buy one, get one half off.
They also have a couple of new things they've introduced this week. They have the delicious creamy cinnamon horchata bar. And they have totes.
Totally.
Totes my goats.
Totes. And you know what? Every one of those bars has 4 grams of their sacred mushroom blend inside. And it's going to take care of you, man. Like I said, just because Halloween's over, don't be sad. There's candy in your future. Go follow at Melt Mushrooms. Shoot him a DM. Tell him No Simple Road sent you. Get that deal and take care of yourself, everybody.
Yeah, you're totally right. And I think for me, if I know that like I said, if I know that I'm doing like such and such things, if I'm like checking my own boxes of like a standard of quality, like, you know, I ate before I played or whatever, or mostly just like if I'm focusing and I'm feeling like I'm truly communicating with fans, then I know it's going to be good, and I don't have to worry about that quandary, you know, because I can like be comfortable. If I'm comfortable, I know it's going to be good.
So good boils down to feeling.
Yeah.
Totally.
Straight up. Not
If
even
I-
how it sounds.
Dude, if I feel good, I don't care what it sounds like, because I'm like,
Because you feel good.
it's good. Yeah, it's because I'm having fun. like over the weekends, some of my friends, we put on like an all improvised show, to raise some extra money for like people in Nashville and like Western North Carolina.
Right.
And it's like me, William Tyler, excellent, amazing artist and guitarist, and this guy Jake Davis, who is like an all high school friend, and he records like engineers all these records in town that are amazing, and he's got a really cool sensibility. And Ben Parks, the drummer that is like on the records, and it's just amazing. And Stu Taro, who plays with My Baby Truth, incredible bass player, and just a band of like amazing listeners. And like going into it, having no set chords or anything, and like with the like, you know, I think the shared goal of like just listening to each other and being present, and that there's some killer music being made because we were listening to each other. And that's like, honestly, man, that's what it's all about. Is the communication, the listening, the presence.
Was that the gig that was on your over the weekend? You'd posted on your feed on Instagram where you're like set up. There's kind of the street in the background. Is that looked really cool?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It's at my girlfriend's art gallery here in Nashville called Red Arrow, and they have like a nice parking lot, and there's a cool venue back there too, and it's right on the main street of East Nashville, so it's a good scene.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Like, Nashville is such a hub for music. It's, it's blown up since even before the pandemic. It's been going on for a while. And is it difficult to distinguish yourself in a place that's like popping like that?
Yeah, dude, big time. I think because I'm from here, and I started playing shows as like a teenager, and it was a way to like feel different or something, and get out and hang with kids my age that liked music, and then all of a sudden it like got serious or something, and there were a lot more people here. I was like, oh, people are going to shows that I don't know. It's weird. And then it's like a lot of people, and then like, whoa. Fast forward a couple of years, like the standard of music or the standard of playing has like skyrocketed, and it was a lot to keep up. But there's also like it's also a good thing, because like there's so many killer musicians that are like, I don't know, it's mind-boggling. Just world-class killer players on everything, and it spans like so many different kinds of like disciplines, whether it's like bluegrass, like flat picking stuff, or there's of course there's a lot of killer country players, but the thing that I think separates Nashville with those players is that like everybody can play every kind of music here.
Shit, yeah.
Because you have to keep the lights on,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I felt like totally lapped like a bunch of times over, and I just like hunkered down and tried to catch up, and Nashville is huge now, and there's a lot of people playing and doing good, and since the city's grown, there's like an appetite for all kinds of different stuff. So you just kind of have to like find your crew and find your little corner of the zone, and a lot of great stuff can happen from just like that,
Yeah, and I think that you just said it perfectly. You got to find your thing and lean into it.
Totally.
Because at the end of the day, there can be 10,000 awesome players in Nashville, but none of them are you, right? Like they may subjectively or whatever play better or not, but they can't do what you can do because they're not you. So lean into your thing and you're golden. I mean, it's a trip to me to think that you grew up there and cut your teeth and do all the stuff and then get picked up by Curation. So when you take this stuff out to California, what's the reception like?
It's great. Yeah, I've had some great shows in California. I did a tour. The dude Dan Horn.
Yeah,
we're
we were
friends
curious.
with circles.
Yeah, we were curious about.
Oh yeah, dude, they rock. We did like a joint tour with like Dan Horn Band and Weird Ears, and like we shared a band, and went from like we did like the Paper Mill and Forest Knolls and Felton Music Hall and Zebulon, and I think that was like early February, and the shows were awesome, man. There's definitely more of an appetite for the jamming out there than maybe there is here. So it's like very refreshing. It's sick.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that. Like, we have Daniel's from Nashville, right? Donato.
Daniel Donato.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like that's the closest thing that I could think of, like jamming, playing country music is like cosmic country. And I was wondering about that. Like, how is that in Nashville? Like, not much appetite for the jam? They want to hear the 3-minute song?
Yeah, Nashville is an interesting place. I think it's a hard place to maybe gauge appetite because there's so much different stuff. Like, they're definitely, it's not as like heady as California or playing on the West Coast or like Colorado or something. Like, it's definitely more countrified, especially, there's Broadway and you gotta play the country music. And I love doing that stuff. Like, I play down there a few times a month. But there is an appetite for headier stuff. It's just not on like a large scale. Like, you can play some really cool far out like improvised shows. There's like some really killer players that do more, improvised, jazz leaning, far out stuff, some free stuff, some like fully ambient stuff.
Oh shit.
So it's around.
Right.
It's around and you can get people out for sure.
Is weed legal there? Is cannabis legal in it?
No. So
Okay, I didn't think
that's direct correlation.
We get by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a correlation for sure.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it too is like there's a lot of playing music for work here,
Oh.
Like so the opportunities to stretch out is like a treat or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sean,
but I'm trying to like sorry to
no,
cut you off.
good,
I think I'm trying to like play more shows like that and interact with more of the kind of far out stuff in Nashville. I think that there's a growing appetite, and I would like to help foster more of that in town for sure.
Fuck yeah!
Sounds like you got a good place with your girlfriend's gallery too.
Yeah, it's a good zone. There are some really cool places for that kind of music in town for sure. Blue Room, the Third Man Records venue they book really cool shows. Like Andre 3000 played there this year, and they get some really cool far out stuff for sure.
I was wondering about what was it because of magnet school that made you want to become a musician? Did you have aspirations to do anything else? Like, what was the turning point or the nail that drove into the coffin that was like, I'm doing this?
Dude, I don't know. I think I found an identity in it when I got sucked in, and like as a preteen, and when I went to that magnet school, I got in with a lot of friends that I still make music with today. That we started playing house shows, and that was like getting that response or just that like rush of playing it like a nuts show in like a basement or like a like a warehouse with a bunch of crazy kids it was like I didn't even think about anything else at that point, honestly. I just was like, I have to do this for the rest of my life.
That makes sense. Yeah, I need this feeling.
And then at some point it gets serious and you're like, what the fuck? You look behind you and it's been 15 years.
Dude. It's been like 16 or 17 at this point. I started doing it a lot when I was like 16. I'm going to be 34 next month. So it's been a while, man.
So go ahead, Apple.
Well, I'm curious about your band. Have you tell us a little bit about your band that plays with you?
Yeah. So right now it's a core trio of me on guitar, my buddy Alec O'Connell, who's also my roommate. He plays bass. He's a phenomenal bassist, plays for a lot of people around town. He was like the OG Weird Ears bassist, so he's been around the whole time for like 5 years. And then Ben Parks is the drummer and also background vocals. And that's probably been maybe like 2.5 years or something he's been playing with us. And that's, I think the addition of Ben is when it really was like, it like took shape as like that's what it is now, is like a pretty elastic unit. And then there's like a rotating cast of like other players, like different collaborators. Jake Davis, who records my stuff and everybody else's stuff in town, does like cool synthesizers and stuff. And then my buddy Rich Ruth, who's on Third Man Records, he has 2 absolutely stellar records from Third Man that it's far out like space jazz material.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he'll play like synths and other guitars. And he's awesome because like his style is very, our styles are very complementary and different than each other's. So they work well, and we know how to like fill space in a cool way. And then steel player by the name of Spencer Collum. He's like, you've heard his playing for sure. Like he's on a million records, like Angel Olsen stuff, and I think he's on a Billy Strings record. And he's an amazing steel player, and he'll play with us. And I also play in his band, Spencer Collum's Coin Collection. And keys player by the name of Joe Skornikow. She's just like this, one of the most talented musicians I've ever met, as far as like just full send virtuosic jazz pianist.
Oh, wow.
It's like she can go full Joe Zawinul, Herbie Hancock, and just a heartbeat. And it's amazing. Like I'm so insanely lucky to play with such amazing musicians, man. It's a trip. Is
this the band that's gonna be on Head in the Sand?
Yes, yeah. Everybody that I just listed will be on there for sure.
Okay, so one track is out, Roll On Buddy.
Yes,
right?
sir.
When does the full thing drop?
Full thing drops February 7th.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
February 7th. Got a little ways. Got a new single coming out the week after next.
Okay.
And looking forward to having that one.
Which one's coming out?
So have y'all heard the record?
No, I don't.
Oh, word. It's Riding in the Van.
Okay. Number 7. Got it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. It's probably like one of the more far out tracks on the record. I'm really excited to have it out. It's probably one of my favorite songs that I've got.
Really?
Wow.
And yeah, I love it. And it specifically, to like go back to what we were talking about earlier, it is like this, it's just turned into this vehicle for just free playing, free exploration, and it's sick, man. It's so much fun. Not to be like, oh, my song's good, but it's
it should be like
Fuck
that.
Yeah. You made it.
But we went on tour. Me, Ben, and Alec went on tour with opening for Michaela Davis for a few weeks earlier this year. And towards the end of the tour, Michaela would come and sit in on Ride in the Van and just like put these amazing textures all over it. And yeah, I'm excited to have it out there, man. I really am.
I can't wait to hear the rest of it, man.
I always wonder too, like it's coming out. You got it all done. It's sitting there ready to go. Dude. You got one single out. I just would imagine as an artist, like I want it out now, man. I want everybody to hear it. So you got some time to build up to it.
Why? I have a question about that. Why wait?
Well, I don't know. So this time, I'm like basically like self-releasing this record with the help of Missing Peace Group,
Okay.
and they're amazing. So I'm basically like acting as my own label on their imprint of their label. And so on one end, like I'm buying the records, and so it's giving me time to like space out paying for stuff.
Okay, that simple.
Okay.
Okay,
It's taking a while. It's taking a while, but we're gonna get it out there, man, and it's gonna be good.
I know that we've talked to quite a few musicians that they release certain tracks on purpose to keep their album fresh. You know what I mean? Like, so you work on an album for 2 years or more, you record it for however long that takes, and then now you put it out, and then it's forgotten about in like 2 weeks.
Because there's so much shit.
So like I feel like doing something like what you're doing, even if it's financial, it's kind of like a boon for you to keep things fresh. Like they haven't heard it yet, so they're kind of waiting and excited about the music to come.
Yeah, dropping singles.
It helps. And I try to do like a couple of things every now and then, like maybe post like, oh, here's how you play like the middle part of the song or something, or just find ways to like keep it fresh in people's heads. But yeah, I mean, there's so much music, and it's like it's hard to grab people's attention,
dude,
and keep it there. And so it's just like, how do I try? It's like an exercise in like finding ways to remind people.
Yeah.
Dude,
hey, I'm still here.
I
Right?
didn't know shit about building an audience when we started doing this, and like talk about oversaturation. Podcast is like there's a podcast about probably clipping dogs' nails. I mean, there's a podcast for everything, and like it's so saturated, and I totally get it. It's hard to stay in people's thoughts, period, because people's attention is scrolled 10 seconds at a time, or even 2 seconds at a time.
For sure. I'm grateful, man. Honestly, like I'm grateful for whatever attention anybody pays to it. Like I've got like what I'm grateful for anybody that's listening to it, and just to be like that, and have people listen to the music and buy the record and show up to shows, and that's, dude, like all I really want, I guess, is just to have a little niche of people that come to the shows and watch me jam.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm happy with whatever I got, man.
So
that's an awesome attitude right there.
For real. I mean, that way you're not ever disappointed, and whatever you have, you're grateful for. And I think that we could all try and cultivate that in everything, and then there'll be a lot less disappointment around all the time.
Totally, man. And don't get me wrong, like I still get bummed out sometimes.
Well, fuck yeah, man, you're human.
But man, I did I started out with this not having any intentions to do anything other just like to write and release music. And now I'm playing shows out, and it's awesome. I just never really thought this would happen. So it's sick.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Everything is a bonus after this.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So I think I'm probably going to know already what the answer to this question is, but maybe not. And this is kind of silly, but what's your, like, when you sit down and really think about it, what's your favorite part of being a musician?
Dang, man. Oh, Lord of mercy. I honestly just the opportunity to speak another language. And not like, it is this kind of crazy telepathic, non-verbal way of communicating. And there's something to me that I've just found so much like happiness and freedom from that pure thing. and that's the biggest thing that like keeps me playing.
Wow.
Is just like there's this little happy place, you know, that is accessible when I want it, and and the more that I feed it, and the more that I like give it respect, like the more I get out of it, you know, like the deeper in there I can get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's if I can like harness that into a resource that makes me like, you know, in like a financially like not dire position, I'd be pretty set. But you know, that there's all these other parts on top of that, you know, that get in the way. But I think at the end of the day, man, it's just I'm not really built for anything else.
That was an extremely
chasing that feeling.
Yeah, that's an extremely beautiful answer, man.
Yeah.
That's really dope. Like I've not done what you do, but like just yesterday, a buddy and we get together on Sunday sometimes and we pick together. And just
nice, man.
And just 3 chords playing. I don't even remember what we were playing, like Stella Blue or whatever.
Nice.
And just playing together, and you could feel it come together, and you're actually like making music. And when we stopped, like my whole body was vibrating. I was just like lit up, and it's just us picking on our porch. So I can only imagine, you know what I mean? What it feels like to have a whole band up there and doing that thing, and why somebody would want to chase that and be in it as much as possible. And then
especially if you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're able and you know how good that feels to like be in that flow, why not try that?
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, nobody's fucking making money right now. So might as well not make not make money with what you love.
I know. I work for a corporation. I'm not making money.
Oh, man.
It sucks.
Money sucks.
Tell me about it, man.
You know what? That's great. That's the best thing to
That's
end
the
it on.
name of the episode. Money sucks.
Money sucks.
Sean Thompson.
I gotta ask this to you. I think I'm the only one that. Well, I showed you. I was watching it this morning, and I love the video for Saturday Drive.
Oh shit!
Nice,
you with the dog.
With the dog, well, because it catches you off guard. Then all of a sudden, the band's in there and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
How did you do that? And who came up with that?
Honestly, man, it was like I needed a music video, and Jake had a camcorder, and I was just like, dude, all we gotta do is just drive around. Let's just take like 2 hours and just like, get in the car. And we didn't really even have a plan. We just like, all right, sure, man, like get your bass and put it in the car and pretend to play along to a song or something. And we just drove up and down the street, back and forth, and yeah, it was a fun day. It like just snowed, and yeah, it was a good time.
Well, it just cracks me because it's like, oh, the bass players, and then the drummers in the car, and like you incorporate everybody. I want to see more videos from you, man. That was great.
Yeah, I need to get in there more. Got some live videos coming up. Maybe not as like innocent as that, but that was fun, man. This like having the VHS. Like the camcorder, and just being like, what if we just did this? And then like, sure, okay.
That's how the best shit in life happens.
Oh yeah.
What if we just did
Totally,
this?
man.
Yeah, just go with it.
Sean, where can people go to like get your music, find out more, and support you?
Yeah, Sean Thompson's Weird Ears on Bandcamp. Pre-ordered the new album. That would be sick. Let's see. We got Instagram at Sean's Weird Ears. And then, of course, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, what have you.
Dope.
We're there. Look me up.
All right, man.
Yeah.
And you have any shows that you got coming up?
Yeah.
This will be out in a couple weeks.
Sick. Austin, Texas, October 26th. At the White Horse Saloon. It's going to be nuts, man. Great bill of legends. Logan Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing with Sam, Grisman, and he has his own just like beautiful, perfect albums. So it's Logan Ledger, Aaron Ray, some legendary Texas bands or awesome bands, Ramsey Midwood, and this incredible band called Sentimental Family Band. Just some of Austin's best music. And it'll be a good time. I'm going to be doing some honky tonk tunes and some far out stuff, and it'll be a good time.
Well, for everybody listening, all the links to all this stuff will be in the show notes, and make sure you support them, man, because shit ain't easy.
And money sucks.
And money sucks.
And money sucks.
Money sucks.
Hey, man.
Thank y'all for the opportunity, man. To come
brother.
here. This is really enjoyable.
Like I said, man, if there's anything we can do to help as the album comes out, just let us know, man. We're here for it.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, and thanks for the time. I had a great time talking to you.
Yeah.
Us too, brother. You
too.
have a great night, man.
Peace out, Sean.
All right, you
Take
too.
care,
Talk to you soon, man.
Take care.
Later.
Peace. Later.
Salt to the earth.
Yeah.
We keep finding them.
What a sweet human being.
It's cool.
I love that. Immediately we just see it sitting on the front porch in a
Rocking
rocking
in
chair.
Makes me want to go
Ver-
back on
very
the porch.
comfortable. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we are on our own porch
Yeah.
inside right
We're in
now.
an indoor porch.
Yeah. Everybody, that is for me, that's one of the big joys of doing No Simple Road is finding an artist like that.
New music.
I may
that's
have not,
awesome.
yeah, had no, totally. If it wasn't for the show, I may not have found out about it. And now I have another thing that I can go to when I want to listen to something cool. So I like sharing that with all of you.
Even with millions and millions and millions of songs out there, we can get stuck in our own musical rut. We can listen to every genre, and we can get stuck in our musical rut. And so having people like Sean and the Weird Ears and all these Rainy Eyes, all these different people that, like you said, we wouldn't have known for No Simple Road, it makes my world so much more colorful. It's like a beautiful photo that changes all the time.
Driving in the car and asking, what do you want to listen to, is akin to, what do you want to have for dinner?
Yes.
Yes. And sometimes,
you know what I mean?
Well, and sometimes
Oh,
it can, and it, like how when you do that with dinner too, it can, everybody's like, I don't care.
Yeah,
and then
but
you put something
care.
on and everybody, it's like, well, not that. And it's like, well, how about this? No, that's too filling.
It's true though. Sometimes you want to hear something light with, I want words, but not too repetitive. But
it shouldn't rhyme.
But I should have a good beat. But I don't want it too dancey. I want to relax. Like there's so many things, and so be able to find music that you can just have no expectation about and hear with fresh ears. It's one of the best feelings.
It's also like the food comparison. Like sometimes when you pick something to put on for everybody and it kills it. Like last night, we were outside a lot yesterday. We had no music on most of the day. We were doing our own thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And then you threw on some music.
I put on,
what was that?
And it was like perfect. Like you served us a meal, and we're all like, "This is nice."
Yeah, it was Hermanos Gutierrez, and they are pretty awesome. Actually, I think it was Matt that sent me that. Matthew.
Oh, McDonald?
Yeah, Matthew. I believe he sent it to me. I had heard of them, but I had not paid attention. Like I'd seen something in passing and just never put it on. And then I listened to it after he sent it.
Matthew McDonald, one of the NSR family member that keeps on giving.
Always.
Yeah. He set the mood for last evening on the patio.
Yeah. I already said it. I'm not going to say it again. All right, everybody. We'll be back next week. Monday.
We'll be back Monday with the weekly rewind.
Thank you, Apple. And until then, everyone, please do me a favor. Take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate.
And if you know of a band that we haven't talked about or had on, give us a recommendation. New music.
Yeah.
Awesome.
info@nosimpleroad.com. And hey, if you're in a band and you think that we should listen to you and you're dope, then info@nosimpleroad.com. Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all on Monday. We love y'all. Peace.
No simple road.
first in the world. There's many problems, but it's a burden. Felony just been deferred, and hell of me has been the earth. And alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient. Or haven't you learned it? One simple road. Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hi, this is Henry Kay, host of the #1 music history podcast, Rootsland. Come with me on a journey to Kingston, Jamaica, where we explore the world of reggae music and the untold stories of some of the genre's greatest legends. From the ghettos and tenement yards where the music was born, to the island's iconic recording studios. We are so excited to team up with Osiris Media, the leading storyteller in music, because as you'll hear, sometimes the story is the best song.